Hello everybody, welcome back to GB Bricks, and in today's video I'm going to show you a recent trip into London that I took with my family, wife and kids to, ultimately to go to a Batman exhibition that was on for Batman's 85 years anniversary. But whilst we were there we visited another couple of shops. We went to the big Lego store in Leicester Square, and we also went to the Forbidden Planet and the M&M World. I haven't got footage of all of those shops, but I certainly do of the Lego shop and of the Batman exhibition itself if you want to have a look and see what that was all about. So we got the underground to Tottenham Court Road, which is where the Forbidden Planet is, and had a look in that shop. We then got the Northern Line to Leicester Square and had a look around the Lego store before walking to Covent Garden, which is where the Batman exhibition was. And then we had one final look around the Lego shop and M&M World, which is right over the road from the Lego store, before making our way home. We picked a couple of bits up, nothing huge, but I will show you those bits as well at the end of the video. So here is firstly the look around the Leicester Square Lego store. So here is the Leicester Square Lego store. It's just a short walk from the station, Leicester Square station. To the right of it there you have the M&M World or M&M store as well, which is pretty big. It's not as big as it looks because a lot of it is actually levels below. But here's the Lego store. Bit of a queue to get in, as there always is. But once inside, there is Big Ben, Gringotts Bank, as you can see, a London Bobby on the beat. And there's the Aston Martin, James Bond's Aston Martin. This is the downstairs. There is an upstairs too, which we'll see at the minute. There's James Bond himself. A lot of the sets are London based on this downstairs floor. You'll see here you have the red buses, the new sightseeing bus, but there's another one there that I don't think you can get many other places now. I think this is perhaps even exclusive to the Leicester Square store. And there's Leicester the mascot. This is the Great Deku Tree, which I really do want to get, but it's so expensive. If I did get it, I wouldn't build this one. I'd build the Ocarina of Time version. But yeah, 260 quid. This is upstairs, and there's the rest of Big Ben. And there's the dragon sitting atop Gringotts Bank. That's the creativity tree that you would have seen briefly from downstairs. That's the top view, and you've got another few bits up there. Yeah, this has got like kaleidoscopes in it. You can look into the trunk and it will show you different images from down below. And there's a quick pan across the top floor, and we'll walk around the shop in a minute. So a few of the bits that you'd expect to see in the London store. You've got some Harry Potter bits. There's Voldemort and Bellatrix. This is new, this wasn't here last time I came, so this is obviously to tie in with LEGO's new space initiative, the big push they've been having on space sets this year. And it looked really impressive. I was very excited to see what this would be, because they always use this space here for something different. Every time I come, this part of the floor is different. And it had this screen, and you could choose your destination, as it puts it. And obviously it's relating to all of the space sets for each of the overarching themes. You've got City there, for example. But once you do go into it, so you click go, there's my little boy having a go of it there. So you click go, and it goes up to the top screen. And I was quite, waiting to see what this would be. And it's effectively just the adverts for each of the Lego sets that you'd find on Lego's own website. So that was a bit of a letdown. I was expecting something a bit more interesting than that. But it's always interesting to see what they do use this space for. On the top floor, there's old Bill Shakespeare there, right in his next sonnet. And you'll see in a minute they have the red double-decker bus here, and it was actually referencing Batman's 85th anniversary, which was, as I mentioned at the start, the other reason, or the main reason actually, we went to London that day was to see the exhibition. They had Monkey Kid on the shelves, which you don't see at many stores these days, and it was nice actually because I really wanted to have a look at some of the mechs in person. I do love mechs, and the one on the right is one I've been contemplating getting. The vinyl does put me off a bit, although I do like that Azure Lion. That's not too bad, but yeah, it was nice to see them properly and in person, because you don't see Monkey Kid in Lego stores very often now. A few more Harry Potter bits here. You got the Weasley's store, and you saw Hermione there, I'm sure, with her cat, and there's the rest of them. And in a minute I'll have a quick scan over. Is that Borgin and Burke's here, or Ollivanders? I can't remember now. But yeah, I'll have a scan over to the pick and build wall. There it is at the back there. Now, whilst it does look big and impressive, there's the minifigure factory and all the other bits and bobs. What I will say is it's actually a bit underwhelming in terms of the pieces they do have. They're very generic pieces. I suppose it has to be because it's the staple store to appeal to anyone that goes in, but there's nothing really on there a lot of the time that you would use if you're looking for specific pieces for a mock. So I didn't get anything from the wall this time. So after that, as I said, we made our way to Covent Garden. It's just a 10-minute walk from Leicester Square for the Batman exhibition. Batman Unmasked it was called. And here's some footage of some of the bits that we saw here. Not everything of course, but just a quick overview of some of the highlights. So here we have the Batman exhibition. So as you started, you had an introduction by Jim Lee before you needed to find the hidden entrance and make your way into the Bat Cave as we are now. So this is the first few bits you'll see. There's the Drifter outfit from the newest Batman movie, Robert Pattinson's garb that he wears when he's not Batman, and there's the Bat Pod from The Dark Knight. It's nice to see that. And they did have a couple of the vehicles, one of which being this and the other you'll see later on. There's a quick look at all the movies that have come out over the years. We had my personal favourite, the 1989 Batsuit, Michael Keaton's Batsuit. It does actually have the correct logo on, which the original didn't, which I was wondering about. But it does say there, as you can see, it was seen in Batman 89 and then updated for The Flash. So I'm assuming they updated the logo for that particular movie, which is why it's correct now. This is Christian Bale's Batsuit from The Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. I think the Batman Begins one was slightly different because in the movie he talks to Lucius Fox about upgrading it. So that was the one worn in those two movies. And in here you'll see a collection of utility belts from various media over the years. A nice shot of the bat symbol there. And again, here's some of the comics from over the years, or the ages of comics, which is nice to see. And some of the props used in the movies. This is from the Christopher Nolan trilogy, so the van braces. I seem to remember he shoots out at Ra's al Ghul at one point towards the end of the movie, and the bombs he uses to make his way through Arkham in that movie too, and the batarangs there. Here are the cowls. Now this was quite funny because you go through each of the cowls, so that was obviously from the original films, and you go through the Forever, Batman and Robin I guess as well. And then you make your way across. So this is the cowl from The Dark Knight, or possibly Begins as well. This is from Batman vs Superman, where he wears that big suit like The Dark Knight Returns back in the day. And this is from Justice League, which I haven't seen, or I've seen bits of it. I didn't really like it, but that cowl is incredible. I mean, it looks like a gargoyle. Really very intimidating. And there's the Batman, the newest one. Then I moved on because I assumed that was the end. There was another box there, but I didn't, I just moved on, had a look round, and it was only my wife and my little boy said, "Oh, did you see what was in that box there?" So I said, "What was in it then?" I didn't realise. So I went back and had a look, and actually it's Will Arnett's cowl from the Lego Batman movie, which was quite funny to see it in there, so small. I honestly just walked straight past it. I didn't even notice it at first, but there it is in all its glory. And then you had some of the villain suits as well on display. So this is the Penguin suit that Colin Farrell wore in the most recent Batman film. They didn't have any of the costumes from Returns, which was a shame because Batman Returns is my favourite Batman movie. There you have Bane's mask from The Dark Knight Rises, which was nice to see. Hopefully I'll get a bit of a close-up of that in a minute. There we go, a bit closer at least. Yep, so there it is. Tom Hardy obviously portraying Bane in that movie. And then you had Jim Carrey's Riddler costume from Batman Forever, which is a movie that objectively, when I watch it these days, it makes me cringe, but I was about 12 when it came out and I fell in love with it. I saw it at the cinema and thought it was amazing. Not so much these days, but I do have some nostalgia for it. So there it is. And then you had, you didn't have anything for Two-Face for that movie here, but you had the Batman and Robin costumes, and it was interesting to see a fair bit of love shown to Batman and Robin at this exhibition. So you'll see Uma Thurman's costume there in a minute, you'll see Mr. Freeze, but it's almost as if enough time has passed now that it's been looked on warmly and it's been forgiven for its sins for being such a terrible movie, and it's just been accepted as part of the the Batman universe, and all is forgiven, like I said. And there's Mr. Freeze's costume, worn obviously by Arnold Schwarzenegger in that film. Just looks like a big toy, doesn't it? It's him to this day, it just annoys me. But yeah, this is Harley Quinn. Is this Suicide Squad? I believe. I haven't seen that film, doesn't really interest me. But yeah, there was her costume. That's the mask that the Joker wears at the beginning of The Dark Knight when they're robbing the bank, when there's the big reveal that it's obviously him. and this is again from that same movie. This is when he infiltrates the hospital and ultimately blows it up. He speaks to Harvey Dent first, and he's wearing the nurse's costume. They didn't have his costume, you know, the more traditional purple costume, just this version. Again, of course, played by the late great Heath Ledger. What a tragedy his death was all those years ago. And a few of the props here from the most recent Batman movie, The Batman, or solo movie at least. There's the Riddler's mask, and the cup of coffee he's having in that film is his glasses. And a few other bits and bobs. There's his journal, or his notepad as well. Some bits from the Penguin there by the looks of it. And here you have a quick shot of the riddles that were used, that were sent to the Batman in that movie. And here are a few more props. These are from Batman Forever. You can see the Riddler's cane, and then Batman and Robin, you can see Mr. Freeze's gun. Again, just looks like a big toy. Everything in that movie looked like a toy. There's the snow globe that he crushes when he does his big dramatic and generic cliched first Gotham then the world, and there were his slippers as well. And there's a shot of Uma Thurman and that movie's Bane as they leave the plane. And finally you had the muscle car, the latest Batmobile from the Batman again. Not my favourite Batmobile because it does just look like a big car, but it fit that movie well, and it does look very good with that red hue underneath it. That red lighting does really evoke the feeling of the movie, and a quick shot of the other Batmobiles through the ages. Just fantastic. I love the Batmobile. So yeah, very good. Enjoyed it. So as mentioned then, we did pick some bits up from a few of the stores there. The first being the Lego store. Not the biggest bag in the world, but I'll go through the bits that we got now. So we bought each of the kids something for the day out. They were very well behaved, really enjoyed themselves. So my daughter picked something from the Batman store that I don't have to show because she's nabbed it out of the bag. But my son wanted something from the Lego store, and he got this. So this is 71789, which is one of the Ninjago sets, the 4+ sets, Kai and Ra's car and bike battle. And whilst the 4+ sets get a lot of stick from people, I watch a lot of Lego videos, a lot of people talking about their love for Lego, and I really enjoy watching other people's views on Lego and what they bought, what they like to collect, etc, etc. One overarching narrative I seem to hear a lot is that everybody hates the 4+ sets. You know, you see a lot of grown-ups talking about upcoming sets, you know, what's coming in this month and this month, going through the releases on the website and saying, oh, this 4+ set is X amount of money and it's a complete waste of money. Who wants this? Who's this for? Well, it's for 4-year-olds, to be honest. And actually, these sets are very good for 4-year-olds. Now, I will agree the prices on Lego's official stores are ridiculous. They're so expensive. But I don't buy them for the most part from Lego stores. The only reason I bought this one today was because we were out for a day, and you swallow the extra amount you're going to spend because you've said the kids can have something and you're in that store. But for the most part, you pick these up in Smith's Toys for 20, 30, sometimes 40% less than that RRP. And in terms of the other complaint, which is price per piece, well, the pieces are bigger because obviously 4-year-olds aren't as coordinated and their fine motor skills aren't as developed. And also, I mean, my boy built this by himself when we got home, and he actually even modified it a little bit. You'll see here it's meant to be a trike, one of the two vehicles, and he said he wanted it to be a bike. He didn't want the third wheel, so we looked at ways we could do that and did that for him. But if you look at the main car, for example, if I just lift it up and show you the bottom, now that's two pieces that have been clipped together with Technic pins. And obviously, generally that would be built with, I don't know, 30 odd pieces as opposed to the two. But if he drops that, or if he's playing and he's, goodies versus baddies and it smashes into a wall and breaks, either it's two pieces and he clips it back together himself and it's all good, or he comes into the room in tears with a handful of Lego pieces and asks me to fix it for him. I know which I'd prefer. For the age, for 4-year-olds, which is he is bang on the demographic, they are perfect. And he has some of the older sets, the 7+ sets, the Ninjago mechs, for example, and as much as he loves them and the look of them, he finds it difficult to play with them because they are a bit more fiddly and obviously more developed in their design. He can't stand them up on the carpet and they keep falling over and he gets frustrated. So these are perfect for 4-year-olds. So everyone's entitled to their opinion, of course, but I wish sometimes adults would remember that Lego is a children's toy, first and foremost. And I love it, and I'm not knocking any adult that loves it because that would make me a massive hypocrite. but it is for children, and these 4 sets are very good for children. As well as that, we got some of the new Dungeons and Dragons minifigures. I need 4 to have the full set. So through the beauty of scanning, we were able to pick up 3 of the 4 we needed. The one they didn't have was like the Dragon Knight. One of the employees in the store said they only had 4 of those because he'd been scanning them himself all morning, and whilst he couldn't say 100% they'd sold out, because obviously they'd gone on a shelf, a lot of people had been scanning and taking sets, and he said by this point chances are that those are long gone. So the 3 that we got of the 4 that we still needed were the Mind Flayer, the Halfling Druid, and the Tiefling, if I'm saying that right, Sorcerer. I'm not a big D&D fan, but I do love these minifigures. And the one that we needed to give them their official name was the Dragonborn Paladin. On to the Batman experience, or Batman Unmasked. And just pick one thing up from here, other than, as I said, something for my daughter that she has already taken. But that was, just pop the bag down a minute, sorry. That was the Selina Kyle or Catwoman Funko Pop from Batman Returns. Now, I don't collect Funko Pops as a rule. I collect anything Turtles. So I have a lot of Funko Pops for Turtles, and then anything that intrigues me or interests me, such as horror movie villains, you know, the icons of horror, things like Godzilla or Kaiju in general, and Batman, things like that, I will occasionally pick up Funko Pops for. And the reason I picked this one up in particular was because I don't see it about anymore. It was one I was going to buy a few years back and didn't. Don't know why. But then didn't see it for a decent price anymore. But the other reason was because a couple of years back I did manage to pick this up, which is the Penguin from Batman Returns in his rubber duck vehicle. So I thought it would be nice to get Catwoman and kind of complete the set. Officially there is another Penguin. I don't know if you can see that on the back there. Kind of in his top hat and tails, looking all smart when he's running for mayor. But I'm quite happy to just have the 2 villains from that movie. Don't need every single one. As I said, I don't collect Funko Pops, but it was a nice opportunity to pick that one up. So yeah, that's what I got from there. And finally, as I mentioned, we did go to the Forbidden Planet. I didn't get any footage from in there because if you've ever been to the Forbidden Planet in London, as I said, it's in Tottenham Court Road. It's quite a squeeze in there, and it gets very busy. There's a lot of glass display cabinets, and you're kind of squeezed against a lot of them as you try to make your way round. And then downstairs is where you have the comics and the graphic novels and other bits and bobs. Upstairs is more figures and things like that. But there was something I did get that I'd wanted for a while, and that was this, which is the Resident Evil board game. Now, I have Resi 2 and Resi 3 in board game form. I didn't have the original. I didn't actually know there was one for the original, judging by the art on the box there. This is for the remake for the GameCube all those years ago. These are fantastic board games. My wife and I enjoy playing board games such as these. We've got quite a few from a number of different films and what have you, things like the Alien one, Jaws, the Warriors, a number of different ones, and you know, they take quite a while to play, and this one I think takes about 90 minutes per playthrough at least. So they're not ones we can play often just due to time, obviously busy lives and kids and whatnot, but sometimes in the evening we'll play one, and this is one I really wanted to have in the collection, and I'm delighted to now have it. So there you have it. There's our day out in London and some of the pickups we made from a couple of different stores. Hope you enjoyed that. Please do let me know if you frequent any of those stores often, and last time you did, anything that you picked up, let me know about it in the comment section below. Please do consider subscribing to the channel if you're new here. It's a new channel, I'm trying to grow it. It's quite difficult at the start to get the old numbers up. Notifications on, all that caper. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, there'll be a number of different videos coming up in the coming weeks. Until then, take care and happy building.